Hi there, if you're just joining us, we'll get started in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Alrighty, hello and welcome to Discovery Festival 2020. We're so happy that you are here joining us today. My name is Will Tapia. I am the advancement coordinator for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central New Mexico. And we're just so happy you're here. And again, welcome to our virtual Discovery Festival. This is a new, interesting thing for us, of course, necessarily so due to this pandemic we all find ourselves in right now. Of course, outside of a pandemic, Discovery Festival is an amazing event where we have 50 exhibitors from all across various levels of STEAM that all present for one day at the Albuquerque Convention Center. We get about 3,000 students every single year. So it's an incredible number. And of course, something like that can happen this year due to the novel coronavirus pandemic. So we've shifted all that online, all totally virtual in a series of webinars. And so this is week 2 of our Discovery Festival. We have 4,500 students that are registered from across the state of New Mexico. So we're really excited about that number. And again, are happy for those who are able to join us on this live stream today. Just a couple of housekeeping items here as we get started. I have 15 screens open, so I'm referencing a lot of windows right now, so you'll have to pardon me with that. We're going to be able to take your questions as they come up. So this is a really neat part of this virtual kind of webinar style event that we're doing here. So if you're watching on YouTube, there's a chat function where you can type in your questions there as they come up. And what's really great is our presenter today is going to set aside some time here during his presentation to address your questions live. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully keep it dynamic, keep the whole energy high with this event. It should be a total blast. If anything wild happens with this live stream, right? If the live stream goes down, we all know technology can be technology sometimes. So if anything crazy happens, if it goes down, the screen goes black, whatever it is, just sign back onto the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central New Mexico YouTube page. That's the BBBS CNM page that you're on right now. Just sign back on there and the live stream will be back up and running if anything happens. I'm not anticipating it will, but again, who knows with technology. So that being said, I did want to real quick and briefly, if I can pull up the screen here, I want to give a quick shout out. We have some amazing sponsors. Let's see here. We have some amazing sponsors who are supporting us and supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters throughout this pandemic that we are so thankful for, and that this festival would not be possible without, namely our Da Vinci presenting sponsor for this festival, Honeywell. If you've ever been to Discovery Festival before, they're amazing. They have a super fun booth, and they support us year and year out. So thank you so much, Honeywell, for your continuous support even during this pandemic. And if it will move to the next screen, which it looks like, here we go. There we go. Technology, am I right? To our curious sponsor, Fidelity Investments. Fidelity is another big hit for our in-person Discovery Festival, and they'll be presenting here this week. So stay tuned. Take a look at your virtual exhibitor hall info to find out when Fidelity Investments is presenting. It should be a super blast. Again, they're always a hit every single year. So thank you so much, Fidelity, for your support during this time and always. To our ride sponsors, Aztec Machine and Repair, located out in beautiful Bloomfield, New Mexico. Thank you, Aztec. And to Air Force Research Laboratories, who will be presenting next week. They have this really fun paper satellite demonstration you are not going to want to miss. So thank you, Aztec and AFRL. To our Newton sponsors, we have the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, we have Micronet Solutions, Sandia National Laboratories, and Presbyterian. Many of these presenters are presenting in the next few weeks. Again, just another reminder, don't forget to check out your exhibitor, the virtual exhibit hall, for more information on their presentations. With that, there we go. Okay. With that, I think that's all the housekeeping items that I have. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I always seem to forget something during this virtual age. But again, just so happy you're here and that you're joining us for this presentation by CNM. We have the wonderful Christopher Gonzalez. Christopher, are you there?
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Thank you all
Christopher.
for having me. Thank you, Will.
Welcome to the live stream. We're so happy you're here. I think, Christopher, I covered everything I need to cover. Again, I'm sure I forgot something, but without further ado, don't forget to type in your questions inside the chat function. And Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Sounds great. So I have a couple presentations for you all today. One is going to be about I come from the School of Business and Information Technology at a CNM, and I'm the enrollment strategist there, which means that I'm here to help out any kind of prospective students. So I'll start off with the presentation. Then there's a small video where you'll be hearing from both our faculty and students. And then after that point, we'll take some questions. Then after that, we'll have a second presentation, which will be about kind of like researching your favorite colleges, tips, and how to search for a college. I've been in the education game for a long time, and so this is kind of some tips to help you find the best fit for you, because that's exactly what I'm all about. All right, so without further ado, at the School of Business Information Technology, these are the different career clusters we have. We offer both certificates and degrees in pretty much all of these programs. We have accounting, which offers both certificates, introductory certificates, and post-baccalaureate certificates. So you can come to us even after you get a bachelor's for some higher certificates in accounting. Brewing and beverage management, that is going to be going towards breweries, aka beer. So unless you're 21, you won't be able to get into that program. But it is a great program. It's a growing program. It's one that we're seeing a lot of business and is a good job in the Albuquerque area. We have our business degree, which offers both a degree for getting directly into business and various specializations, as well as a degree that's more for transfer opportunities and really focuses more on your core courses. Our computer information systems course has a various specializations as well as if you want to get directly into any kind of tech field. It's going to be stuff like cloud services, working on servers, working with networks, security, so on and so forth. So really kind of being like IT tech kind of stuff. Our computer science degree is really going to be for those who are looking for that bachelor's degree. So they're looking for a kind of a different career pathway than those who are getting directly into the field and are looking to just kind of update certificates. If you're wanting to go more of management style, that'll be a computer science degree going towards a bachelor's degree. We have a culinary arts program, which offers a multitude of specializations, like baking. There's various food specializations, as well as kitchen positions. Our hospitality and tourism degree, which has a huge amount of partnerships throughout New Mexico, as well, especially in, of course, Albuquerque. And finally, our office administration degree, which is going to be all about how to run an office. So, doing expense reports, timesheets, so on and so forth. By the way, if you want this presentation, I will have my contact information at the end, as well as the contact information of our school advisor. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to him about any kind of specific programs, or myself. He'll have a little bit more in-depth knowledge than I will. As well as if you want the presentation, this entire presentation has links to all the different things that I'm talking about as well. So it can give you more in-depth information as well. The great thing about BIT is that we do have a multitude of different ways that you can learn and how you can kind of customize your education. We have our regular traditional programs, which offer both online and in-person services. So that will be like if you're just going for a regular certificate or a regular associate's degree. We have our Attend Anywhere classes, which are primarily in our accounting degree, but they're starting to spread out. And what these courses are is literally you can attend these courses anywhere that you have a computer who has access to the internet. So you can attend these in person on campus. If not, they're being streamed live. So you could do it from home, you could do it from a library, you could do it from a different classroom if you like. Literally, like I said, anywhere that you have a computer that can get internet, you could take this course from. Much like the chat feature that we have on this call right here, they have that as well on the Attend Anywhere. So you can just virtually raise your hand and type in your question, and notifies, it pings in the room to let your professor know that you have a question. They can quickly jump over the computer, see what you ask, answer your question live. Very much like we're doing right now. We have our fast track programs. And in that, we have both our business administration and computer support specialists, associates. These are going to be, and think of it like a locomotive. They are fast track. They're done in 15 or 18 months, as opposed to the traditional 2 years. And you are just going for this ride, and we're just helping you along. Everything that's included in the price of this program will include any kind of tech that you'll do. Once we're meeting in person again, when you have your one night a week to meet in person, it includes dinner for that night. It includes all your books, and there's no extra fees. Once you do the payment, that's all you're going to be paying from there on out. Like I said, everything that you'll need is included in the program. We do your schedule for you. You're done with a cohort, so you're with the same class throughout from beginning to finish, which is great because then you kind of really build a relationships with your fellow classmates. Because of that, you really kind of develop like a little family. And like I said, you really don't have an opportunity to follow up behind because we are just pushing you along as well. We have the CNM Flex program, and in that we offer both the digital media marketing certificate as well as the business administration associates. That's new to the Flex program. The Flex program, what that will be is you pay for a 7-week period to access to all the classes. You register for them one at a time within the 7 weeks. But if you have 16 hours a day to devote to that class, you could do as much work as you can in that day, right? If you only have an hour or 15 minutes, you can hop in and do whatever work you can. So there's no mandated schedule. There's no mandated deadline or due dates. It's all when you can get into it and do it, okay? So the great thing about this program is if you're a really driven and dedicated person, you're going to find that you get through these certificates of these degrees a lot faster. And if you have a lot of time, if you find that you're not as self-driven, which is okay, I have that problem myself. I need a little bit more guidance when it comes to classwork. And if you have a hard time really kind of putting that schedule together to make sure that you're on track, or if it's just not, online is not for you, I wouldn't suggest this program. But like I said, if you're online, if you're very driven, if you're good at keeping the schedules, this is a great program, and it probably will be cheaper for you in the long run than doing a traditional program. The Digital Media Marketing Certificate is a new certificate that we offer, which is all about social media marketing. So if you want to learn how to do marketing with Facebook, with email, with websites, Instagram, with social media in general, that will be that certificate. And finally, we have our CNM online class. As opposed to the traditional programs where you have the option of doing online or in person, this would just be strictly online. And in that, we offer both the business degree, the business administration degree, and the digital marketing strategy certificate, which is going to be similar to the digital media marketing certificate. We have great partnerships. And the great thing about these partnerships is that these are not only internship opportunities and job placement opportunities for our students, but these are also going to be resources for us as a department. These people come into our advisory and they tell us what kind of tech they're using, what kind of business practices they're seeing, kind of seeing where they're seeing people fall short in the market, kind of pitfalls that are happening, as well as good practices that they're seeing. So this is really good because then it gives us up-to-date information on how to educate you to best fit the market. And finally, do we have any questions so far?
We
While I'm,
do.
go ahead.
Yeah, so we got some questions, and I think some more may filter, and I'm keeping an eye out on all my open windows. But so a couple of the questions that we got in thus far was asking for a little more detail on what exactly is beverage management.
Hmm. Sure. So let me go over here and I'm just gonna click on this. Let me know if it brings up the website for y'all. It's like, but brewing and beverage management, there's going to be two certificates. So one, you know what? I will stop sharing this. Let me go to a website. Sorry, give me 1 second.
No problem at all.
All right. So here we go. I'm clicking on brewing and beverage management. So here's the certificates that they offer. There's the brewing management and brewing technology. So brewing technology is going to be more really kind of the nuts and bolts of the brewing process. So how to brew beer, what do you do, what kind of the chemical balances that you're looking at, fermentation process, how to like kind of pairing recommendations, so on and so forth. The brewing the beverage management certificate is going to be about managing the people who do those kinds of things. It's still going to give you that information because it is stuff that you're going to need to know, but it's going to be looking at things at a much higher level basis. And then the associates is going to be similar to that management certificate, but it's going to be an associate's degree, so there's more core involved with that. So the associates is going to offer you, of course, an associate's degree. So it's just more bulk. It's going to give you more kind of management opportunities and add more kind of clout to your name, as well as whereas the certificates are just going to be about getting you the bare minimum to get you in and get you certified. I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, we did get a question that I think you kind of answered, but I think it dovetails a little bit off of that. It's just asking if certificates are different from degrees.
They are. So certificates are going to be short term, and it's going to be usually we have to adhere to some kind of national or state credential program in order to hand out these certificates. So they're certified by some accreditation as opposed to the normal degrees, which are done by like the Higher Learning Center. Uh, the certificates are done through I can't remember what the one for brewing is, but it's a national one. And so what this says is that we meet the requirements as far as knowledge checks to offer certificate in this area. And so usually that is a shorter period of time, and it doesn't require the core classes that an associate's degree will require.
Okay, great. Awesome. And
Mhm.
then we did get one more in just now, um, asking, are the fast track programs the same, or excuse me, are the fast track programs the same credit hours?
Yes, as the degrees, they are the same credit hours. They're just done in a shorter period of time. So like I said, you are moving like a locomotive. You're on kind of your own. I'm gonna pull these up just so you can see what the options are. You're on your own trail as far as you're on your own timeline. So you're not adhering to, you're kind of adhering, but not really adhering to the normal CNM school. It's your cohort is doing its own thing. It's the same credit hours, but squashed down into a shorter period of time, where we're really kind of controlling the process as opposed to you. But it offers people who don't have a lot of time to look at those things. So it's usually for people who go into a career, who maybe have to do a daytime job, and then they can do this in the evening. This allows them to not have to worry about the processing stuff and allow them to really focus on the school side of things. But yes, it is the same credit hours.
Great, thank you. I think that's all the questions that we have thus far. But again, if there's anything else, please post it in the chat on YouTube. Thanks.
Okay, sounds great. I'm gonna share the video right now. So this will be our faculty and staff speaking. You should see that here in a moment.
School of Business and Information Technology has the most exciting and kind of a broad expanse of programs, I believe, at the college. We range all the way from brewing and beverage and culinary arts, amazing pastries and baking and pulled sugar work that they do in that program, all the way to cybersecurity, business, project management. We just started business analytics. So everything that goes under the umbrella of the computer information systems with regard to cybersecurity, cloud computing, programming, network system administration, which again is up and coming, and then the business support behind that for project management, for customer service, for human relations. We really cover just a great expanse of programs.
My sister, she just graduated in May. She got her accounting degree, so that kind of inspired me to come to CNM. I chose to stay because I see myself as a leader. I guess that's what I see business as, leadership.
Obviously, I want them to be successful. I want them to have actually understood something that I've told them and that it carries forward with them, whether they're in one of my classes or not. I want them to, be successful in what they're doing. Primarily for accounting, I really want to make sure that they're finding the connection between what it is I'm telling them and how it even relates to them in the real world.
I like coming here because you actually get people that have experiences, and then you get smaller classrooms, so you get more focus. When people ask questions, you actually get answers, so you're not just getting answers for what you want to know, but people that ain't understanding, they'll get more detail, and by them getting more detail, you end up learning off of basically what they're asking.
When a student comes back, either in the form of a personal visit or in an email, after the fact, after they've gone through my classes, after they listen to me, and after they've done what I've asked them to do as far as preparing themselves, they come back and say, oh, I got this awesome job, I'm making more money than you make, kind of a thing, that kind of stuff. We have a student that, that's awesome. I'm like, this is totally cool. 2 years out of community college, they're making more money than most of the instructors are making, because we do teach a really high value skill set. So that to me is the most satisfying, is when students come back to me and say thank you for pushing me in this direction, for helping me out to get to this place.
All right. Before I move on to the next presentation, are there any questions that came up before?
Let's take a look here. Looks like we had we did have a question come in. So the question is asking if all classes are virtual now for coronavirus.
They are currently virtual at this point for the spring semester, and it will be virtual for the fall semester. For the spring semester, it's looking like we are going to start out virtual and see how things play out. With currently the state of New Mexico, we are expecting to probably not open till the summer, but we are hopeful for that spring still. Mm-hmm. The only exception are going to be courses that do require you to come in person. So like many of our culinary courses, if you look at like our applied technology, our welding courses, those kinds of things where you actually have to come in and do the things, we are having those in a limited capacity, following guidelines from the state. So we're keeping safe as much as possible, but we do want people to be able to continue their degree programs too.
Great. And that makes sense, I think, to most of our students watching as well. I think they're kind of in a similar boat. So that's good to hear. And another question came in asking if CNM is expensive.
Is CNM expensive? I think expensive is a relative term to whoever they're talking to. What I will say is that CNM has probably the most competitive prices in New Mexico in terms of per credit hour. And we have a multitude of scholarship opportunities, as well as we do get money from the FAFSA, if you aren't aware of that. you can apply for government loans or grants and get awarded that. With CNM for our scholarship process, we've loaded all down to a single scholarship application. So all you have to do is fill out that scholarship every semester, and you could be awarded money. And it could be based on need, it could be based on heritage, it could be based on GPA. There's a multitude of opportunities out there for scholarships. As well as I highly encourage people to look for outside scholarships, even as early as, you know, freshman, sophomore year, because all of that adds up. But as far as quote unquote, is it expensive? By most people's standards, I would say no.
Yeah. And just to encourage, you know, I know Madeline Doherty, we had her on this morning speaking about some admissions side of it. And, you know, she mentioned, of course, you know, things that Christopher's saying as well, the FAFSA, the free federal student aid. So if you look up FAFSA, you can find out more information about that and register. It's basically free money, right, from the government. So there's lots of really great options. And then things like the Bridge to Success scholarship and the lottery scholarship. There's all kinds of neat stuff for New Mexico students, which you all are if you're watching this program right now. So be sure to take advantage of that. I don't. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, adding on to that, and literally there are millions of dollars a year in scholarships that are not claimed every year. So apply for everything and let other people tell you no. That's what I would always suggest to students.
Good call. Okay, I think that's all the questions that we have. So I'll let you continue to take it from here.
Sounds good. All right, so I have one last presentation for you all, and it's just gonna be college tips, and this will be a short one. But again, if you guys have any questions, just save them till the end, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Right. So first of all, you got to pick what you want your major to be, picking your profession. Research your major. One thing you want to do is check out employment trends. This is something I highly suggest to people. For example, I want to say like 10 years ago when I was teaching, I had a lot of students who wanted to go in phlebotomy. At the time, there was way too many people that were going into phlebotomy. And so there wasn't a lot of job opportunities. And those people who went into those programs found that they couldn't even work in the degree that they got when they got out. So make sure that there are employment opportunities for what you're wanting to do, or if there's not in your local area, maybe you want to look at moving to a different area and going to school in that area. Those are just some things you have to consider as you're going. And also, do you have a passion for the work? You know, I'm a strong believer in that the money will come if you're doing what you love, okay? Now, not to say that you don't have to put the work into it. There's usually a lot of work that has to go in with some of these professions. But if you are passionate about the work, passionate about the education, you'll find that you're gonna have a much happier time in your profession of choice. Finally, research your school of choice. And these are things that I always suggest people to research. Research the location, all right? If you're not going to somewhere local, look at the area, see what the demographics are, see what the nightlife is like, see if it's gonna be a good fit for you. Research the professors. What kind of credentials do they have? Do they work in the field? Do you want somebody who worked in the field? Are you looking for somebody who's like, you know, renowned in the educational world? Those are all kinds of things you should ask yourself. Look into the student life. Are there clubs? Are there Greek life? Is that important to you? Are there teams? You know, these are things that you should ask yourself as you're looking through things. Technology. Maybe you're in a heavy tech program. Maybe you're not. Making sure that they're on the cutting edge of technology is an important thing when looking at job market opportunities. Because if they're using outdated programs and that's what they're training you on, and you go into the job market, you're going to have to relearn everything over again, and you're going to be behind somebody who learned the right things. So definitely look into what kind of technology they're using. As I just touched to a second ago, is like, look at the costs and not just tuition. People just think tuition. Look at the fees, look at room and board, look at activities fees, look at lab fees, look at what the books are going to cost, get a complete picture. A lot of colleges can actually give you an example spreadsheet these days. And those who don't, you usually will provide a lot of that information online. So Definitely ask for as much information as you're looking at your degree programs, and ask for the complete picture, not just what tuition is. Because sometimes fees can add a lot more on top of that tuition that you never even thought about. Are there internship opportunities tied to the school? Is there employment help tied to the school? Do they have alumni groups? If these things are important to you, you definitely want to make sure that they're there at the school of your choice, or when you're looking at the school of your choice. And finally, does it feel like home? The number one reason that most people chose the college or the university, over and over and over again, there's a survey that comes out every year. It's always one of the top three choices, but usually number one is that it feels like home. When they go and they are seeing the campus and where they're doing their research, it feels like somewhere that they want to be. And go with that feeling. Research it. Try and find what feels the best to you. College checklist. Now, this is stuff that I highly recommend that you do as you're researching colleges. All right, list out your choices. Put a list and put it in order from your top choice to your least choice, the least one that you want to choose. And then you got to choose from that. You got to narrow it down to how much work you're willing to put into it. Researching 3 colleges is a lot different than researching 10, okay, or even researching 5. It's a lot of work when it comes down to it. First of all, check deadlines. Make sure you know what scholarship deadlines are, what application deadlines are. Sometimes they have special scholarships where you have to visit by a certain time. These are all things that you should look on their website and make sure that you have the most up-to-date information. A lot of colleges will spoon feed you this information, but at the same time, it's up to you to make sure you adhere to the deadlines. So make sure that you're in the know, and not that just they're keeping you in the know, okay? Check the college websites. All right, there should be a multitude of information about the school, whether it's student life, whether it's degree programs, so on and so forth on the website. See what it looks like. This is their brand. This is what they're putting out into the world. And you're going to want to see what they want the world, what the kind of message they're communicating out to the world. Sign up for information. When you go to these college fairs and stuff, don't treat these college reps like pariah, like they're door-to-door salesmen trying to get, a quick buck out of you. All they're really trying to do is get you more information. If you're interested in college, sign up for information. If you're not, just leave them alone. Because the thing is that they are going to send you mailings, they're going to send you emails, they're going to send you everything they can because they want you to come to their school. So you don't want to be inundated with information, but at the same time, you want to make sure you get that from those schools that you're interested in. All right. Okay. So visit these people, talk with them, get as much information as you can. Contact your college rep when you see them at the school. If they don't contact you and you have questions, contact them. Build a relationship with them. The more that these people get to know you, the better they're going to be able to help you. Okay. If you can, ask them to talk with a professor, student, staff, department chair, anyone that they're willing to let you talk to at the school. Ask them for it. The worst that's going to happen is that they're going to say no. In most cases, most schools will say yes, because again, you wanted to make an informed decision. You as a student who's showing that you're a go-getter, they're willing to do more stuff for you. At least in my experience, is what I found. Finally, double check deadlines. Do it again. Check it. At the beginning and the ending of each semester as you're coming to it, just to make sure you're on track, at least with those top 3 schools that you're looking at. Narrow down your choices. You definitely want to narrow it down to at least 3 schools once you are getting there. Oh, sorry, I missed one. If possible, visit campuses or do a virtual tour if you aren't able to visit the campus, okay? You're not going to know what the campus life is going to be like until you get there. There's as much as they can tell you, there's as much as you can hear from experiences, but until you get into that campus and see it for yourself, you're not going to know how it's going to feel to you, okay? I always highly encourage visiting campuses, or if you can't, do a virtual tour. Once you narrow down your choices, those schools that you're no longer interested in, notify them. They'll remove you from lists. They might ask you some questions as like why you're not interested. That's really for more of their databases, and they want to make sure that it's a definite no from you. If they feel like you've done the research, that you really have given them a chance and said no, then they'll leave you alone. But make sure to notify them. Otherwise, they're going to keep calling you. They're going to keep emailing you and mailing you. The easiest way to get that out of your mailbox, your email, and your phone is just to let them know. Finally, All you got to do is apply and wait. Okay. That's the hardest part. Make the applications, put in the scholarships, all those sorts of things, and wait to hear back from them. Okay. Any questions? And while we're going through questions, I'll leave this contact information up in case anybody wants any of the presentations. One website that I will suggest that's on the presentation is when you're doing job research. ONET is the research that takes all of the different states as well as the National's Department of Labor information and compiles it so that you can see what average wage is, maximum minimum wage, so on and so forth. So I highly recommend ONET when you're looking at different job positions. Any questions?
Great. And I did want to share that we're going to go ahead and post your contact info in the chat as well, if that's okay with you, Christopher. That way, for any viewers on YouTube, they can have that directly.
Definitely. Do you need me to put it back up?
I think we should be good. Yeah, we've got your email up there. cgonzalez290@cnm.edu.
That's it.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Yeah, so please reach out to Christopher if you have any questions, concerns. I think he shared some amazing tips there. So if you want to copy the slides, as he was saying before, anything like this, those tips are helpful, whether or not you end up going to CNM, just in general, right? For as you kind of begin the college search. So that's fantastic. I'm not seeing any questions come in, Christopher, but again, if there's anything else, we'll be sure to forward that over to you or reach out to him directly. So.
Sounds great. Thank you all for having me, and hope you found it helpful. Like I said, like Will was saying, those tips are good for any school that you're looking at. My whole goal when I look at enrollment and recruitment is not necessarily to get you to my school because we want you, of course we do, but I want you to find the best fit for you 100% all the time.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Christopher. We're so happy you joined us this afternoon, and yeah, we'll look forward to that information then.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. You take care. All right. Bye-bye. And for those of you who are still on the program, I just wanted to take another quick last moment here of our program to just, again, say thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors who are supporting Big Brothers, Big Sisters right now during this COVID pandemic. And as a reminder, we do have lots of fantastic presentations for the rest of this week. So you can figure that out and see all the virtual exhibit hall very easily by visiting www.discoveryfestnm.org. You can view the virtual exhibit hall. We have Sandia National Labs this week, Fidelity Investments this week, and several other CNM presentations as well. It should be a super, super blast. So please check out that website, click on the exhibit hall, and you can see all the presentations there. With that, again, thank you all so much for joining us. Stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the morning. Take care. Bye-bye.